everyone. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your interest in student career opportunities at Elevance Health. So, before we dive into some introductions, I wanted to cover our agenda for today. So, we are going to start out with some introductions. I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'm going to have the Elevance Health University Relations team also do some introductions. We're then going to provide a quick high level overview of Elevance Health, who we are, and what we do. We're then going to have our internship program administrator, Corey Warren, come in and provide a thorough overview of our summer internship program. We'll then kick off to a panel discussion of some former interns and then open it up for questions. But as Jade said, please feel free to drop questions in the chat, and we will make sure that any questions we don't address that you all can come up off of mute at the end and ask any questions or continue to drop them in the chat. So thank you all again for your interest. And let's go ahead and dive into some introductions. So I will go first. My name is Brooke Smith. I'm the manager of the University Recruiting and Relations team here at Elevance Health. I've been with Elevance Health for what will be 4 years come January of 2024, and it's been an amazing journey. And so I lead our team with all of our university relations, campus recruitment, and early talent hiring efforts. I'll pass it off to the rest of the team to introduce themselves as well.
Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining this evening's call. Shout out to everyone that's joined. I see a bunch of folks on the call, and shout out to some of the colleges that I see. Purdue, Butler, I'm Indiana based, and so I may be a little biased, but I see some Georgia Tech, University of Alabama, Virginia Tech, Yale, Columbia. So shout out to you all, and thanks so much for joining today's call. My name is Corey Warren, and I am the program administrator for the University Relations and Recruiting team. I've been with Elevance Health for not quite a year. We'll be 1 year in December, so very excited about that. In terms of my role, I manage the summer internship program from end to end, from all of the communication and events that are planned throughout the summer internship program, as well as supporting the university recruiters who you'll hear from here shortly. Again, thank you all for joining the call. I'm very excited, and I will pass things off to another member of my team.
I can go ahead and go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Bimolt. I'm one of the university recruiters here. I've been at the company for a little for 2 years now. It's weird to say 2 years back in September, but love my time here so far. Based out of Chicago, and on a day-to-day basis, I support the recruitment for our CFO, CSBD, health solutions teams. And I guess I'll pass it over to Emily.
Awesome. Yes, my name is Emily Hasensall. I too am a university recruiter here at Elevance Health. Like Corey, my 1 year with Elevance Health is coming up here in December. I am based in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I support our Chief Information Office as well as working a little bit with our Chief Administrative Office and their Cybersecurity Division.
All righty. Well, let's go ahead and dive in. Again, we do have two of our university recruiters present. We also have our university relations coordinator, and they will be helping to support the chat. So if you have some questions for our recruiters or even Corey, feel free to drop those questions in the chat. They can definitely answer questions about our opportunities, the application process, the offer process, and Corey can answer more questions about the actual experience that interns have. Alrighty, well, I'm going to go ahead and dive in and share a little bit more information about Elevance Health, who we are, and what we do. So I'd love for you all to drop in the chat if you're familiar with Elevance Health, if you've heard of us before. I do want to mention that you might have heard of the name Anthem. And so I had mentioned earlier that we've been on quite the journey over the past couple years and since I've been at Elevance Health. So I will definitely speak to, our recent name change. But yeah, would love to hear from those of you who are familiar with our name. Maybe your parents have Anthem or Elevance Health healthcare plans. Alrighty, well, again, I'd like to welcome you all to the Elevance Health Information Session in partnership with Way Up today. Here, you'll really have a tremendous opportunity to reimagine healthcare through innovative ideas and a digital first mindset. And so, really just wanted to take some time to talk a little bit more about Elevance Health, who we are, what we do, and share some quick facts. So, Elevance Health is a leading health benefits company dedicated to improving lives and communities and making healthcare simpler. Through our affiliated companies, Elevance Health serves more than 118 million people, including approximately 47 million within our family of health plans and related services, and a variety of other special healthcare products as well. You think about your life and disability insurance benefits, dental, vision, and medical benefits, and other things such as behavioral health services and flexible spending accounts. And so we really aim to be the most innovative, valuable, and inclusive healthcare partner, and we're really delivering beyond whole healthcare. And so we're working now to really expand from being a partner in health, just healthcare benefits, to transitioning to becoming a lifetime trusted partner. And so that's why we recently changed our name. Last year, in July of 2022, our shareholders approved our name from being changed to Anthem to Elevance Health. And so you all may be asking, well, why? Like, why did we change our name? The Anthem name had a pretty strong brand awareness. And so the Elevance Health name really underscores our company's commitment to elevating whole healthcare, and advancing health beyond healthcare and its evolution to offer products and services beyond just traditional healthcare benefits. So earlier you may have heard me mention, your basic life and disability insurance benefits, dental, medical, vision benefits, and like flexible spending accounts. But we want to do more than that. We really want to support our consumers, our providers, and our customers throughout the whole journey, experience, and lifetime of their health, their well-being, and how they relate to healthcare. And so through our digital capabilities, pharmacy, behavioral, clinical, and complex care assets, we're really able to address our consumers' full range of healthcare needs with an integrated approach, and with a whole person approach. We really want to support the whole person through their healthcare journey. And so it's through these diverse assets that we as a company are really delivering on our strategy. We're driving growth and exceeding expectations for our consumers. And so, with that, we currently have over 100,000 employees. We support over 20 subsidiaries. And I mentioned earlier that we serve over 118 million people. I do also want to call out that we are a licensed associate of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association. So we are completely separate companies. I do hear students asking a lot about, is Anthem the same as Blue Cross Blue Shield? We're different entities, we're different companies, but we are an independent licensee of the Blue Cross Blue Shield company. And we are one of their largest independent licensees offering our various integrated health plans and related services. Alrighty, actually, before we dive into our mission, our purpose, and our values, I wanted to share some additional quick facts here. So, we are headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we were formed in the mid 1900s. And we operate across what we call 13 blue states. So, these are where we are licensed to sell and execute the Blue Cross Blue Shield healthcare plans. And so these states include California, Colorado, Connecticut, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Maine, Missouri, Nevada, New Hampshire, New York, Ohio, Virginia, and Wisconsin. As I mentioned earlier, we are headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana. A big majority of our internship positions are based out of our headquarters, but we hire a lot of our interns also out of our Post Point in Atlanta, Georgia. We also have some interns based out of Chicago, New York, and California as well. And so I just kind of spoke about, how we recently changed our name to be more aligned with supporting our consumers throughout their whole healthcare journey. And so that really influences our culture and how work is done at Elevance Health. Everything really centers around our consumers and ensuring well-being and that we're well-being and that we're supporting whole health for our consumers and our employees as well. So we are a mission-driven organization, and our mission is improving lives and communities, simplifying healthcare, and expecting more. Again, which is what really drove our decision to change our name from Anthem to Elevance Health. Our purpose is to improve the health of humanity, and that really structures our values, which make up our culture. So I do want to spend just a quick moment talking about our values because they are things that we really expose our interns through to and really make up our culture. And so the first one is leadership. It really means redefining what's possible. And we've done that. At Elevance Health, we have really great leaders who are always thinking about what's next for healthcare. When you think about the fact that we're just recovering from a global healthcare crisis with the COVID 19 pandemic. So that really forced us to be agile and adapt to changes in the healthcare landscape and look to redefine what's possible for our future through having strong leadership and people with strong leadership ability. Secondly, we value community. I definitely would say this is one of our most salient values, and we definitely try to instill a sense of community amongst our intern cohort. So this just means being committed, connected, and invested. And we are committed and invested in our interns, providing them with a best in class experience and connecting them to our culture, our values, our purpose, our mission, other interns, and other associates across the enterprise. You'll then see integrity. That means doing the right thing with a spirit of excellence. Also, agility. This is another big one. It means delivering to today, but also thinking about what we can transform for tomorrow and being able to adapt to just changes in the healthcare landscape as they come. Like what happened with the COVID-19 pandemic, and being able to be agile and work throughout that challenging time. Last but not least, you'll see diversity, which is huge for us. It means opening our hearts and our minds. And so, one thing that I personally really enjoy about Elevance Health is working for a company that actually, we don't just talk the talk, but we walk with our purpose of improving the health of humanity. And so, that also means taking a stance as it relates to social justice and helping to overcome disparities in the healthcare landscape, whether that's racial disparities, supporting um, high mortality rates amongst African American mothers and babies, and supporting other underserved communities as well. So we really look to make sure that we're delivering a diverse healthcare strategy to meet the needs of a diverse set of consumers across the US. Alrighty, I just wanted to share this slide to give you all insight into our various departments, divisions, and lines of businesses. So we are led by Gail Boudreau. Actually, I saw earlier on LinkedIn that she was recognized as one of Forbes' most powerful women in healthcare again this year. So she is our CEO and president of Elevance Health. And then you'll see the various leaders for some of our primary departments, divisions, and organizations. So we have our Global Chief Data and Insights Officer. We have our Legal and Administrative Organization. We have our Government Business Division. This is where Medicaid and Medicare sits. We have our Commercial Specialty and Business Division. This is really the sales arm for Elevance Health. We will have some internship opportunities under our commercial and specialty business division. And again, that's all about sales. And then you'll see Carillon and Ingenio RX. Ingenio RX is our pharmacy benefits organization, and Carillon is where the majority of our subsidiaries sit. And that's where we're really diversifying our portfolio of healthcare services beyond just some of those traditional healthcare benefits that I mentioned earlier. We have our strategy organization. You'll also see our finance organization as well. So these are our finance, accounting, and actuarial internships. We'll have a variety of finance, actuarial, and accounting internships available for 2024. And then under our health officer and health solutions, we will have opportunities available for, healthcare administration, public health students. You'll also see our marketing organizations. And I really just wanted to call out that the majority of our opportunities will sit within our digital organization, our IT organization, and our finance and actuarial organization. We'll also have some sales opportunities as well, and some healthcare administration, public health, healthcare related opportunities. But lots of different departments and organizations that we have to support our business. And in addition to that, aligned with our value of diversity, I did want to mention that we have these business resource groups. So these are very, very similar to like student clubs or organizations that you would join on campus. And so diversity, equity, and inclusion are fundamental to how we do business at Elevance Health and helping us to understand and meet healthcare needs of the unique communities that we serve. And so these BRGs are associate led communities really focused on specific dimensions of diversity that help to foster an environment of inclusivity, respect, and collaboration. And so these are great opportunities to connect with other associates at Elevance Health across our enterprise, across different locations that maybe share the same interests, identity, um, or background as you all. And again, it really fosters our sense of diversity across the enterprise. One thing that I want to call out is that our interns had the opportunity to learn from and connect with our BRGs during the summer 2023 internship program. So this is something that we do like to expose our interns to, and each one of these BRGs, whether it's supporting, for example, Black History Awareness Month, or maybe Mental Health Awareness Month, we work with these BRGs to create exposure for our interns to the work that we're doing of diversity. And they also host different events and activities throughout the year that our interns can participate in as well. Alrighty, and just wanted to shout out some of our recent featured awards, call out some of our metrics here. Um, I think Corey is going to touch on this later, but we have been recognized as one of WayUp's top 100 internship programs in 2020, 2021, and 2022, which is something that we are really, really proud of. We've also been recognized as one of Forbes' best 100 companies to work for and best employers for new grads as well. You can see some of the other awards we've won. Best places to work for the LGBTQ Equality Index. Great places to work is certified by U.S. News as well. So definitely just marks the stamp on how Elevance Health is not only a great place to start your career, but to grow your career as well. Alrighty, well, that was just again a high level overview about Elevance Health, who we are, what we do, our organizational structure, and the types of opportunities that we have available. I'm going to pass it over to Corey, who's going to elaborate a little bit more on our summer internship program and the experience that Elevance Health interns get to have when they join us in the summer. All the benefits of our program, and she'll also elaborate on the types of opportunities we have available. But don't forget that our recruiters are here to answer any questions about those opportunities in the chat as well. So, Corey, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you so much, Brooke. And I'm ready to go to the next slide. And I'll go ahead and just give an overview of our summer internship program. So within our internship program, we focus on four of what we call pillars of success, which align with Elevance Health's mission and purpose, as Brooke mentioned earlier. And we really build our program events around these pillars of success. As a program administrator, this is a huge part of my role with essentially owning the intern experience. And Brooke mentioned this as well, but we strive to give you all or all of our interns rather, a best-in-class experience and an overall well-rounded experience as well. And so what you can expect if you have an opportunity to join us for summer of 2024, you'll engage in meaningful work, of course, that aligns not only with the line of business or area that you'll be supporting, but it will also align with your career goals. And that's where you will have an opportunity to gain real world experience, and that should propel you forward in your careers. We'll have plenty of learning and professional development opportunities. For example, you'll hear from our internal talent management team as they discuss topics surrounding professional development, for example, maybe leadership or some other professional development topics. The UNR team, we come in and we do a campus to corporate presentation, and that kind of helps you all navigate the corporate environment that may be very different from a corporate or campus environment. And we'll also discuss topics around like feedback and why having feedback conversations with your manager and your mentor are important as well, and how that can guide you throughout your early career. We'll have some what we call leadership speaker series. And so you'll hear from our president and CEO, Gail Boudreau, as well as a host of other senior and executive leadership members here at Elevance Health. And they, give advice on their careers and lessons that they learned, and also just advice on how to navigate early careers as well. And then we'll also touch on social and community engagement. And for example, last year for National Intern Day, we had an opportunity to engage in community service. It was a virtual community service event where our interns participated in a great give back game show or a trivia game show where they answered trivia questions, and then the winning team was able to donate funds to a charity of their choice. And so that event was rated highly within our interns. They really enjoyed it and recommend that we bring that event back for next year's interns. And so we'll touch on all of these pillars of success. And that, again, should align with the experience that we're hoping to give all of our summer interns. Next slide, please.
And Corey, also, I want to make sure we touch on the Intern Summit as well.
Yes, great call out, Brooke. Thanks so much. And so before I kind of touch on anything on this slide, we actually did have an in-person intern summit, and that was the first in-person event that we had hosted as University Relations in person since COVID. And we had both an in-person and a virtual component for those who weren't able to travel. We had a summit in both Indianapolis and in Atlanta, a 2-day event, which concluded with a social event at Punch Bowl Social, which was really fun for our interns. But the Intern Summit was a full day of professional development. We had a leadership panel discussion, and we had diverse speakers from different areas of our business just come and talk and answer questions that our interns had. And so we're looking to implement that again for next year. So we'll definitely be looking to host another in-person intern summit, and we're really looking forward to it. Great call out, Brooke. On the slide that you all are seeing now, in terms of what we're offering, is a 12-week summer internship program, and the dates are listed on that slide there. This is a fully paid internship opportunity. You'd be looking at a hybrid work model where you're in office 1 to 2 days per week, and then the rest of your internship could be remote the remainder of the week. And I see that we did have some questions around specific locations. As long as you're within 50 miles of what we call post point or office locations, then you're able to complete your internship. Brooke did mention a few of these. Post point locations: Indianapolis, Atlanta, Mason, Ohio, Chicago, Virginia, Woodland Hills, California. We have offices in Texas, Boston. I saw some questions about Florida. We have offices in Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa, Tallahassee, Texas, and specifically Austin, Grand Prairie, in Houston as well, California, Los Angeles, Palo Alto, Woodland Hills, as I mentioned, and a few others as well. And so we do have offices all over the US, and as long as you're within 50 miles of one of our post point locations, then you'll be able to complete your internship program. But again, we are looking to have a more of a hybrid summer internship program next year. So you can expect to be on site at least 1 to 2 days per week. In terms of the program, all majors are accepted. As 2024 the program for 2024, majority of our internship positions will focus on finance and actuary, IT, data science, and analytics. We'll have some sales and some healthcare administration positions as well. And we'll route you all to our external careers page where you can see all of our 2024 summer internships posted. We'll also post to Handshake. We'll post to LinkedIn as well. And so we encourage you all to browse the career site, see what opportunities we have available, and definitely apply.
Yeah, I also wanted to call out before we move on that, for students that are outside of that 50-mile radius, that's okay. We can work with you to provide some housing and relocation support to get you to and from the internship, or within that, driving distance to be able to work for the internship. Additionally, I know this question comes up a lot, and I'm sure you all have questions on like, what do we look for in the ideal intern? So I'm sure that our panelists are going to elaborate on that and that experience and how their interview process went. But I wanted to say that we definitely look for students that are curious and passionate about healthcare and the healthcare industry. Definitely, those that are eager to learn, grow, and develop. We look for those that have strong communication skills, verbal, written, and listening. Definitely those that are aligned with our values. They appreciate diversity. They have strong leadership skills, capabilities. Um, they can be agile. They can come in, learn quickly, easily adapt to a pretty fast-paced environment. Those that work well on a team, but also can work independently and are self-starters as well. And those that are able to solve challenges, those that are builders, change agents, and performance minded. So again, I'm sure we'll elaborate a little bit more on what we're looking for and the skills that our two previous interns developed and really highlighted throughout their interview and internship experience. So passing it back over to you, Corey.
Thanks, Brooke. And another quick call out is that our internship positions are not limited to just undergrad opportunities. We have both undergrad and graduate opportunities, and that will be specified in the job posting, whether it's a graduate opportunity or undergraduate opportunity, but we do have both available. So on this slide, before we kind of get into any questions that you all have, just another call out, and Brooke touched on this as well, but in the past, we have been nationally recognized by Layup as a top 100 internship program. And then just this year, we actually had 2 interns that were nationally recognized as top 100 interns. And so again, as we strive to give all of our interns a VIP or best in class experience, I'll leave you all with that and hope that you all can join us for next year. All right, so joining us this evening, we have 2 former interns who were actually participating in this past summer's internship program. Who we have with us, Kendra Perkins. She is a student at University of Cincinnati, and during her time at Elevance Health, she was a government relations intern. Kendra will be graduating from the University of Cincinnati in May of 2024, and as I mentioned, she was a 2023 summer intern. We also have Jasdeep Manga, who attends Syracuse University, who will be graduating in December of 2023. During his time here at Elevance Health, he was a health data analytics intern, and he also had an opportunity to extend his internship throughout the fall, and so he's currently working at Elevance as an intern, as well as completing his last semester in his master's studies. And so I'll pass things over to Kendra and Jasdeep if you all want to do a short introduction, and then we'll go ahead and get into the Q&A.
I can start. Hey, everyone. My name is Kendra, as Corey mentioned. I think there was one person in the chat that was also from Cincinnati, so go Bearcats. At Cincinnati, I am a political science major with a minor in public relations. So we can probably get into more about how I got here. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Happy to be here.
Hey everyone, my name is Jasdeep and I'm currently pursuing a master's in applied data science at Syracuse University. I'll be graduating in December, as Corey mentioned. So yeah, it was a fruitful ride for me, like beginning in June of 5th and then extending my internship till December. I'm enjoying the process. It was a fun process altogether, like learning new things in the team itself. And fairly still remember the first call that I got from Moira regarding this, and then probably pursuing it ahead with other recruiters on the team. So yeah, so thank you, the Elevance team, for this opportunity, and looking forward to the full-time thing now.
Quick call out before you get started. I do just want to highlight that the picture that you see of Jazz Deep is at our intern summit. So we had these really cool like photo frames and like a step and repeat banner that our interns can take pictures of, post to LinkedIn. So I just wanted to call out that Jazz Deep, that's Jazz Deep looking great at our intern summit.
Thank you, Brooke.
Awesome. Well, I would love to be able to get to a point where you all can share more about your stories. And maybe that's what we'll start. Kendra, you mentioned this, but would just kind of love to hear what your journey was like, kind of getting an internship at Elevance Health.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm a political science major with a minor in PR. And I found this internship actually through somebody in the company. And I just want to mention, I think that's already been said, but you don't have to know somebody in the company to get an internship here. But yeah, that was my journey coming in. And I was glad that Elevance actually has or had a governmental relations position for interns. The team is great. They're fantastic. But yeah, my journey, it was smooth. It wasn't hard. I did like 2-3 interviews and then they let you know like right then and there if you were picked or not. And everyone's very nice in the interviewing process, and all the UR in our team, they're very helpful and like letting you know if this isn't the internship for you, we also have another one we can refer you to. So either way, they want you to try to get an internship or get into the program here at Elevance, and that's what I loved.
Yeah, so speaking about my journey, like I think it started with my application process with the like the portfolio of companies that I had in my mind around in probably say June or July, then receiving the offer in November. So it was like a proper process that was followed around that area, like receiving an internship in data science field where everybody is like tech heavy. So it was a challenge as well, but it was a fun process. Like I didn't come with any preconceived notions that I need to do this and that and to learn about the industry in the first place. All my experience that I've got from this internship, I've done by meeting new people in the team itself. So that was a pretty fun thing to like meeting a diverse culture of people in the company, like, and how they are managing the projects that they have been surrounded with, and also the time management. So that was an important aspect that I got to learn, like being around people, probably meeting people in the intern summit that was organized in Indianapolis. And then I think the second was in Atlanta. I got a chance to like see the headquarters. So it's a fun journey, like probably like whosoever receives an offer, like it's a blessing in disguise for everybody, like who will be joining the company. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you both, Kendra and Jasdeep. I would love to hear more about what your work or what you actually were doing during your time as an intern at Elevance. Kendra, as a government relations intern, can you give us maybe even just a high-level overview of what some of your work entailed?
Yeah, so I can say with the government relations team, some pretty cool things that I did. Project-wise, I tracked a lot of healthcare-related bills this summer. I got to go to the National Governors Association with Elevance, as well as a legislative conference with Elevance. And with those, I got to kind of present a few projects to them, one being the legislative tracking, but then also I worked on an inclusive language guide with one of Elevance's inclusive directors. Her name is Meryl. And that's also one thing I want to mention is like during the internship, you get the chance and the opportunity to network with so many directors. So just because it's not really like your field, you still can reach out to them and be like, hey, this is what I'm interested in. This is kind of like what I'm going to school for. Do you mind if I hop on a project with you? And more than likely, a lot of directors are like, yeah, let's do it. And they give you a project. So yeah, my two biggest ones were kind of doing this whole spreadsheet for Elevance, which was tracking a bunch of bills, and then the inclusive language guide for Elevance that should be presented now or sometime in the spring.
Amazing, amazing. Definitely sounds like you had some meaningful work experience, which is great. Jasdeep, as a health data analytics intern, can you tell us a little bit about your scope of work and what you were working on during the summer?
So the first project that I was dealing with was under Melissa Pillar's team, in which we actually had to go over a data set for a particular solution. Let's say it was RBM, which we were dealing with. So we had to see like what providers are interacting with. Like we almost like visualized around 5 million records from that data set, because this was not done before. This was Melissa's ideas altogether, like what we have to go through, and then probably from providers' perspective, how the data, how the visualization should look like. So a couple of challenges that we faced were like probably understanding the terms first, because we are looking at a data set of a company now, not like randomly picking a data set from a government website. So yeah, so I think the team was very helpful with me in understanding all those terms. And then probably we were dealing with ClickSense, which is the tech stack being used for visualizing the data. So that was something new which I got to learn from my team members as well, in which as being used to Tableau or Power BI, which is being favored by everybody when they start learning visualization. But ClickSense was something new which I got to learn, and I'm pretty happy about it, like because something new is always a good journey to learn towards too. So yeah, so that, and the current project that I'm dealing with, like it revolves around creating HTML reports and writing CSS code on that, on the same dashboard that we have created, so that every time on every Monday while you're having your coffee, you need a report in your, probably on your email, you get to see that at a particular time. So yeah, so we're working on that.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Back to you, Kendra. If you can just tell us in what ways, if any, has Elevance Health or even just your internship experience, how has that had an influence on your career?
Yeah, so Elevance actually introduced me to a lot of legislators around not just Indianapolis, where I'm from, but then where I go to college in Cincinnati. Networking is something that Elevance, even through like the intern summit, there's a few people on here that I see that I met at the intern summit that I'm like, oh my gosh, I still recognize that name. Networking was a really big one. And then I can say like through networking, as I said, I met a lot of people, but then they've came up like during the school year, then we'll be like, oh, we went to the same events over the summer that were government relations related. So just the overarching point being networking. But yeah, that's Elevance is definitely elevated my experience and getting to know a lot of people, not just around us in the state, but then in other states.
Definitely. And I know that during the summer program, networking was something that we reminded you all constantly about, just when you're in these different rooms at these different events, to definitely network and continue to build those relationships. Jasdeep, same question to you. In what ways has Elevance Health or even just your internship experience had an influence on your career?
I totally agree with what Kendra said. Like networking was a major impact of this. Like the reason I was able to extend my internship, because I got to know like there is another manager that particularly needs interns in his team. And that's when he had a look at my resume. I think, had a brief call for 15 minutes. He didn't say yes or no, but he just gave me an indication that there might be an opportunity for you going ahead. Like we'll just confirm with you in 2 to 3 days. So yeah, I think that was the plus point of it. The other thing was the final presentation that we gave at the last day of our internship. There also he was there in the team and probably was pretty inspired, like how we were able to create the dashboard and finally summarize all the results in that. So I think that was really the peak, like I will say the initiating point of me getting an extended offer till December. So yeah, networking was a major impact of this. Yeah.
Absolutely. Kendra, how would you describe Elevance Health's culture?
Elevance Health is it's diverse, but then it's also very friendly. I know not just the government relations team, some other teams, I had a chance of being on calls with them or kind of meeting them over the summer, and everyone's just very friendly. They want to see you succeed, and I mean that. They'll connect with you on LinkedIn when you finally get to know them, but they actually want to get to know you. They'll tell you like, I can hook you up with this person. Again, it's still a lot of networking, but very diverse and just very welcoming.
I mean, yeah, so the culture is like pretty beautiful over here. Like the reason I was able to meet so many people in the intern summit actually had me like thinking why I was going to attend virtually in the first place, not physically going there and meeting everybody over there. So yeah, so I guess people from different sides, even I met my own team members over there, which we just had a team call every day for 15, 20 minutes, and then meeting them physically over there. So it makes a lot of difference. Like probably your manager was over there. So had a few conversations with him, like how his approach is towards a particular project idea. So yeah, so it does make a difference when you know a lot of people from different backgrounds to see how they particularly what's their vision when they are interacting with you or probably the project ideas that they have in mind.
Amazing, amazing. Moving on. Um, Kendra, how would you describe the work-life balance that you had, or even that Elevance Health could offer you during your time as an intern?
Yeah, so as an intern, I can say that Elevance did a really good job of like having that, setting the boundaries between like, for an intern, like once work is done on Friday, work is done. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your day. I think that Elevance places a high value on mental health for all employees. It doesn't matter if you're a starting employee or if you've been here for a really long time, but over the summer, I really recognized how Elevance was like, enjoy your week, especially like my manager was like, please enjoy your weekend. You guys have been working hard. I'm sure for other teams too. But yeah, the work-life balance for me was awesome. There's times where, I had to go somewhere and I had to travel and I could still hop on at night or still hop on the next day and feel like, I didn't miss much, or it was okay to do that because it was okay to go handle stuff because there's that boundary that was set by not just the company, but then the teams internally.
Absolutely. And I know that that's probably one of my favorite parts of working at Elevance Health as well as the work-life balance for sure. Jasdeep, do you have any thoughts that you would like to share on work-life balance at Elevance Health, especially because you're a student, you extended your internship. How do you find our work-life balance?
Like it was pretty smooth for me because the moment I started my internship, it was a summer break for us in our university, so not many classes going around at the same time. It was pretty easy to manage all those stuff, but now when we have lectures in the last semester, we actually have to pivot some time towards like our university assignments and all those things. So being the last semester, it's pretty chill, but yeah, still it teaches us how you manage your work and like on your university as well, and both at your workplace as well. So yeah, so everything I do, I keep my manager in check. If I'm going out for a lecture, I just have my calendar blocked for that particular time on Wednesdays. And then he was also aware, like if I'm if I'm out for work or something, then probably attending some university event. So yeah, it's all in check. Like hopefully, like till December it is. So in just 2 more months.
Yeah. And that's a great point, and I think a perfect segue to our next question, which was, how did you handle challenging situations? And this is to Kendra first. How did you handle challenging situations or projects during your internship?
So I can say for me, luckily I had a co-intern with me. And so if it was kind of like a challenge, we took it on together. Breaking it down together was like us going through it and being like, here's what we need to do first. Okay, now then let's go here. It was a lot of checking back in with our manager, making sure, we're doing this correctly. Who do we need to connect with so that they can, teach us more about these terms, these issues that we're having, what's the background. So yeah, I just found challenges kind of easier a little bit. I'm not going to say it wasn't challenging, but I found them easier over the summer having a co-intern. But for those who don't have a co-intern or just, are alone, just kind of going through it and breaking it down piece by piece and just knowing like you're going to get through it at the end of the day. And you can always come back to it the next day, checking with your manager and make sure you didn't miss anything. It's just very important.
Yeah. And Jasdeep, if you have any thoughts on how you were able to handle a challenging situation or a project during your internship as well.
Yeah. So same opinion as what Kendra said. Like I also had a co-intern with me. Like she was actually on the healthcare side itself, so she better understood the terms before I come into picture and like start analyzing the data on my end. So it was a team effort, like what exactly we were able to put through, like so that it looks visually appealing, so that whosoever is seeing it like looks like how did they do that? So yeah, so the only challenge was like to begin to extract the data from the resources that we got. We got to know all the SMEs that we would need to reach out to, so that it becomes very easy for us. Like when we are like whatever information we need, we just know the name of the SME and then probably reaching out to him. But they should also have time on their end because they are also occupied with their work. So yeah, so some challenges, but we were able to pull through from the most of them. So yeah, so it was a fun ride.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And Brooke, all right, do you have a question for our panelists?
Yeah, I have one more question, and then we should be able to open it up for Q&A for the last 10 minutes here. So Kendra, Jasdeep, throughout your internship experience and your project work, you received exposure to the healthcare industry. Healthcare industry, it's a very stable industry. It's not going anywhere. And so having that exposure, I'd love to hear from you all, or for you to share your insights with our audience on what surprised you most about working in the healthcare industry. Like what did you like most, or what was like a takeaway or a learning that you had from your experience, or the exposure that you had throughout your 10-week internship, or as it's continued, of the healthcare industry?
So I'll say two things, because that's a really good question. I am not a person. So for a political science major, healthcare, is important. That it's great. We want everyone to have healthcare, and I think Elevance really emphasizes that. That's something that I learned, is that Elevance does a really good job of being inclusive and really doing research on understanding who in the past, what groups in the past, what races in the past, are not very fond of healthcare, not very fond of that type of environment. And so Elevance just does a really good job of being inclusive. And that was something that I kind of took from it, was out of anything, it's like this, as a healthcare company, as a huge corporation, really cares about the people that, have our services. And yeah, that was just something that I really appreciated, because I think that healthcare, like you said, is not going anywhere. And so if we can just get everyone on board to, get healthcare and have accessible healthcare, that's awesome. And Elevance does a great job with that.
Yeah, so as I said, like when I began my internship, like I had very minimalistic idea, like what exactly are the terms that are being used in the industry itself. But then I can share a little a story or something. Like I was at my friend's place and there was a pamphlet on the table there, and so this is 1.5 months after we have like got to know certain terms from the data that we were working on, and then there was a pamphlet on which it was written Medicare and Medicaid. So when I had read that term, I was now able to understand what exactly it means, like an FEP, Federal Employee Program, and everything related to that. So yeah, so I think it did make a change in my thinking, also my knowledge itself. But now when I work on the data sets, like I am able to understand what exactly is this about. When I'm able to work on reports of different dashboards, I start like there is a certain resonance that I have with the terms that are present over there. So yeah, it did change me, and it's been a lovely experience. Like I can just say that.
Awesome. Well, I know that we are at 5:50, so we have about 10 minutes left. Corey, do you want to go ahead and wrap up with the panel and thank our panelists?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll take some questions for both our panelists as well as the UNR team. So feel free to drop any questions that you have in that Q&A chat feature, and we'll answer as many as we can before we close out to this evening's program.
Kendra, Jasdeep, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing your insights and your experience with interested students. Really appreciate it. Righty, well, please be sure to snap our QR code. This will link you to the Elevance Health Student Program site. I do encourage you all to use the hashtag UR2024 when searching for positions. So Emily, Alicia, if one of you all want to drop that hashtag in the chat, again, encourage you all to search UR2024. That should populate all of our current internship and co-op positions that are posted for 2024, but you'll also see a link to our student programs here as well. And again, the majority of opportunities that we'll have for 2024 will be related to finance and actuarial. We'll have a lot of information technology positions, a lot of digital data science, data analytics positions. We'll probably have a few sales positions and a few internship opportunities related to healthcare administration, public health, health informatics, or healthcare data analytics, things like that. And we may see some additional opportunities arise later this year or early 2024, but right now, really just focusing in on finance and actuarial, IT, data science analytics, sales, healthcare administration, or public health.
It looks like we do have a question for our panelist. Ramon Sanchez would like to know how the interview experience was like, or what, Jasdeep, Kendra, what was your interview experience like?
I can say, I think I said in the beginning, it was very, I feel like I was nervous for no reason, is what I like to say. Yeah, you apply and then you'll get a call from the UR&R team. And I will say, like I said earlier, the UR&R team is very involved in like you being hired. If the job that you want, you don't necessarily get, they will be like, here's another job opening that kind of pertains to what you like. And they really do try to emphasize like you getting hired for the internship program. But the process was, I think, 2 to 3 interviews throughout the whole process. You get to talk to the manager, and then you get to talk to kind of like your overall director of the company, and you get to just tell them about yourself, what you're really looking for. And I think that that's something that people should prepare for. They really want to know like what you want to get out of the internship, and what's really most important to you, because they can tell you like what projects are already going into it that you would be most suited well for. So that's kind of my process, at least.
Yeah. So, well, on the analytics side, I would say like the first call was with Moira, where she got us, where she was asking just the basic details, like what projects have you worked on? When are you going to graduate? And second to that, like I think after 2 or 3 weeks, the another call was with John Arthur, where it was more resume oriented, like what projects I have done, what tech stack I have worked on. So yeah, so later, like more of like behavior as well. Like, do I align with the company values or not? Like, do my answers have that thing or not? And I think the second round, I would say, was with David, and where he was also checking on the projects that I've done, like making sure that like what I would be doing, like just laying out the terms over there, not going deep into that, but yeah, just the overview, like what can I expect out of this internship if we go ahead with you. So yeah, so probably like say like I was done with September, and then I think I got a call back in November when everything was finalized by the team. Yeah, so it was a fun process. Yeah.
And I will also say that, we do like to keep the interview process um, as short, sweet, and to the point for our students as we can. We understand that you all are already busy with your academic work. You already might be working a part time or full time job, might be balancing, exams and other priorities. So I would expect to have about 2 to 3 rounds of interviews. That first round being just an initial uh, phone call with the recruiter just to assess your initial fit and your interest. And then again, from there, like Kendra and Jasdeep explained, your resume is then presented to the hiring manager. And then the hiring manager will typically, set you up with an interview, getting to learn a little bit more about your background, your previous experiences. Um, I also say just a tip for interviewing is it's not always about having the right answer. Jasdeep mentioned that like it's about like dialing into your behaviors and how you're going to behave and perform on the job. So that's really what we look for is it's not having the right answers to the interview questions, but it's your thought process and how you solve problems, how you think through challenges, and maybe how you work with difficult people or a diverse group of people, and really what your behavior is going to look like on the job. So Kendra said like she was nervous for no reason, and I do like to share that tip because I think it takes a little bit of the nervousness out of the interview process, knowing that it's not always about having like the right answer to an interview question. It's just about being honest and, clearly walking, the interviewer through how you think your behaviors. And if you've done something like that in the past, thoroughly walking through and explaining that you've had experience doing that and what the situation, task, action, and result was. Alicia, Emily, any other questions? Or even Kendra, Jasdeep, any other comments that you all wanted to share with our students before we wrapped up for today?
I'll just share really quickly. The Elevance internship program, I still talk. So this is another thing that I want to mention is that I am still in contact with my manager even 2 months after stopping my internship. And I will say this, I think that for a lot of different, divisions in the company, not just the UR and our team wants to see you succeed. Like we stay in contact with them, but your managers want to see you succeed. And I know that as a senior, we're kind of like talking about what are next steps, what types of jobs do I want to look for, who can they network with me with, and so that's like something that I got out of this internship as well, is just like staying in contact with my manager. And I just know that she is like here to help me for the next 6 to 7 months until I graduate, to try to see like where I can go with my degree once I graduate and like what's next. So that's also something that I just want everyone just to like know, is that Elevance is like still here for you, even if you don't you're not an intern anymore, and it's awesome.
Yeah, so from my end, I would just say that you can connect me on LinkedIn as well. Like reach out to me if you have any questions over there. So we'll help you out with any way possible, like with networking thing, or probably you can reach out to different recruiters on LinkedIn, see exactly what exactly their job posting, if they are posting anything on the LinkedIn as well. So that will be also helpful for everybody going ahead. Just not the career page. A career page is important, but if something is being shared by a recruiter directly on LinkedIn, so that's also a good thing to do. Like just also to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, great call out. Please do connect with us on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
Righty. Well, we are at 4:59. I think it's good time to wrap up. So I want to thank our panelists, Kendra and Jasdeep, again for sharing your valuable insights on your internship experience at Elevance Health. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Also, thank you to the University Relations team, Emily and Alicia, for manning the chat, answering all the questions we got in the chat. Corey, thank you for presenting a wonderful overview of our summer internship program. And for all of our students that attended today, thank you. Thank you for your interest in Elevance Health. Please know that our positions are posted to both Way Up and to the Elevance Health Student Program site. So we strongly encourage you to apply as soon as possible. And please don't hesitate to connect with us on LinkedIn and reach out if you have any additional questions about our opportunities or your application status. Thank you again so much for your time today, and we look forward to seeing your applications come through. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care. Bye bye.